Very good afternoon to you and welcome to K24 Newscut. Of course, today we're going to be talking about the top stories of the day. My name is Shiksha Arora, joined by a sign language interpreter this afternoon, Walter Sewe. And let's kickstart with the latest when it comes to the Kenya National Union of Teachers, where a section of KNUT officials this morning stormed the union headquarters demanding the removal of Secretary General Wilson Sossion. Now, the National Executive Council meeting was meant to discuss the union's leadership matters, including the replacement of Sossion. Riot police had to be called in to manage the situation from getting out of hand and, of course, to restore peace and calm. Right now, we'll be taking you to our reporter, that's Dennis Matara, and he's going to be giving us more details regarding if the situation is now in order. Is it still the same, or what exactly is happening right now? Of course, he'll be giving us all the latest updates regarding this particular story that has been ongoing since morning. So yes, Dennis Matara is on standby and we're going to be crossing over right now to him. Dennis Matara, good afternoon. And of course, in the morning we saw a bit of chaos happening, but now is the situation calm?
Yes, Shiksha, right now the situation is calm. There is no more tear gas around here along Mfangano Street. But earlier on, that is about an hour ago, it was chaotic because there was a group of teachers who had come outside these offices. This is the NAT headquarters in Nairobi. With one mission. They wanted to make sure that their Secretary General Wilson Sossion was out of office. And all that time, of course, we are also told there was a meeting that was planned to happen today with the National Executive Council. But that did not happen because yesterday Wilson Sossion ordered that meeting has been postponed to a later date. I did not exactly say when it will happen, and he went ahead and obtained a court order to ensure that all other executive members do not hold a meeting. But the sources that we have can confirm that there is a meeting that is currently ongoing, and actually they're saying that they are actually voting and ensuring that they vote in a new Secretary General from today. But that is information that will come later, of course, to know exactly who, if they're going to vote in the deputy or it is someone else. That is information we can obtain later on. The reason why there were chaos here is that there is a section that we believe is a section allied to Wilson Sossion that is allegedly came here and disrupted, and they wanted the members, the teachers who had already come here, to move out so that these offices can be clear. I don't know whether they wanted to get in or what, but they did not want anyone here. But the police officers who had already come here, they did not also want that to happen because they had already calmed everything. So the police officers were forced to lob tear gas canisters at them, and that caused chaos, and everybody ran for safety. After that, everything returned to normal, and right now we're hoping that they are going to regroup again so that they can address us their way forward, because they had promised that they are going to address us, and most importantly to tell us if the meeting that they are saying that was going on, what were the agreements, what they decided, and what is the way forward. At the same time, yesterday when Sossion spoke, he said that no matter what, he is not willing to quit and is not going to move out of office until a proper National Executive Council meeting has been held and a decision has been made on the way forward. They plan for vote, and then he's voted out and another person comes in. That is according to Sossion. But all these wrangles have been happening because yesterday also, their rival union, that is Kupet, the members also were accusing Sossion, saying that he was actually pushing his own agenda, especially the union dues, which had not been remitted to the accounts of some of the teachers. And at the same time, they're saying that as much as there was a 2016 CBA agreement that was signed between Kupet and NAT, there are some sections that NAT did not agree with, especially with the promotion of teachers. Now, what they said is that since NAT did not want that section, they went ahead and some of the NAT members, the teachers did not get their salaries and some of their dues were deducted. All that angered most of the members, and that led to some of the members now opting to make sure that Sossion is out of office. But right now what we can say, there is a section, or there is some police officers who are actually camped outside here. They're saying that they will stay put, as much as this is a busy street, Mfangano Street. But you can see at one corner here, there are a number of police officers heavily armed. They're ready for anything, and they are packed with a lot of tear gas canisters, as they can say, to ensure that no one comes here to disrupt the meeting, to disrupt whatever that is happening here. Remember that Sossion had ordered the closure of these headquarters offices just to make sure that there is no meeting that is happening, which he said that he had given the members, or rather the staff members, to some leave to go and attend to their personal issues at home. But right now everything is calm and the doors are still closed, so we do not know exactly what next is going to happen until now those members, once they finish their meeting, they come and address us and give us more details. For now, we can say everything is calm and Mfangano Street is clear. Yeah, back to studio.
All right, thank you very much, Dennis Matara, for that comprehensive update from Mfangano Street. Of course, Wilson Sossion had directed that the offices be closed from 28th to the 3rd of September. This is the union's offices. Now, we'll be giving you more details as soon as we have them in our subsequent bulletins. But for now, moving on to matters health, where Machakos Governor Dr. Alfred Mutua this morning officially opened the Machakos Cancer and Research Facility at the Machakos Level 5 Hospital. Now, the center is the first of its kind by a county government and will offer services such as free pathology, laboratory and chemotherapy services as well. Now, Governor Mutua says the county has hired a team of oncologists and other specialists to serve at this particular facility. So yes, we'll be getting more information from our reporter Gloria, who is in Machakos County, and she has been a part of this inaugural ceremony, the opening of the Machakos Cancer Care and Research Center, and she's going to be giving us more details regarding what exactly was discussed with the services that will be offered in the area, and of course what is the way forward in the fight when it comes to against cancer. So Gloria Milimu is going to be giving us a comprehensive report right about now.
Well, indeed, Shiksha, just like you've put it, this Cancer Care and Research Center was officially opened this morning. And since the official opening, we've seen patients from this county just streaming in, probably curious to just know how things go about here. Before I just give you more details regarding this particular incident, this particular function, really, maybe if I can just take you through a walkthrough of the facility. Right here, Shiksha is called a triage section, where patients who will be coming here to get screened or even just consultations on matters cancer will get their blood pressure checked here, and also their blood pressure will be checked here. And on this other side also, we have consultation rooms where they will be getting to interact with their caregivers, the doctors, on a one-on-one basis, just to find out what the status of health is in regards to matters cancer. And here there's another consultation room. There are two of those in this particular facility that was launched this morning. Remember, Governor Mutua Shiksha said that those who will be benefiting from these services will be residents who are registered under UHC. Remember, this is one of the government's Big Four agenda, just to promote access to quality and affordable health care. And here in this particular county, Shiksha, during the launch, the governor said those with that UHC card will be able to access these services free of charge. Shiksha, moving on this side, we have a chemotherapy room where patients will be able to access chemotherapy treatment for cancer. Remember, the county will be offering two types of treatment, chemotherapy and also surgical interventions for cancer. So what you're seeing right now on your screen, Shiksha, are just seats where the chemotherapy treatment is being administered. Remember, also the county said that it will be partnering with other stakeholders just to ensure that the process kicks off smoothly. And so far, we've been able to see also the proprietor of Texas Cancer Center here just being taken through the facility to have a look of it. Remember, the county government also said that they will be partnering with Kenyatta National Hospital, since this is a facility that has been offering these services. And right now, maybe just to get more details regarding what will be happening in this facility, I'm now joined by the county health executive. Karibu sana, you're live on K24. Maybe if you can just give us a start of what services this facility will be offering and who are you targeting?
Thanks a lot. My name is Dr. Ansen Kituku. I'm the CCM Health, Machakos County. Today we've opened our Machakos Cancer Care and Research Center, and the target beneficiary will be basically all Kenyans, but more so people residents of Machakos County. And this center will be offering different services. One, I need to clarify that as a county, we have a program for the whole county, which will involve health education, so that we can do promotive health, whereby we will educate our people in the ground and also through local FM stations on what is cancer and what to do to prevent cancers. Number two, we are also going to have a county-wide program on basically interventions to prevent cancer. This will include basically educating our people on lifestyle changes, eating habits, and also actively with other enabler ministries to ensure that there is a decrease in the environmental pollution, because we know that a number of these cancers are being caused by different environmental pollutants, carcinogens, chemicals, and otherwise. Then we are also going to, with partners, national government and also other partners, to ensure that for the cancers which whose cause is known, like let's say for cervical cancer, whereby we know that the causative agent is a virus called human papilloma virus, we are going to, with those partners, to do vaccinations for different cancers and also other prevention measures. At this center, we'll be doing screening for the different cancer types, and we'll be having different procedures for that. We're also going to do diagnostic work. Here we have a pathologist who are going to do diagnosis for different cancers. Then we'll also be giving treatment, including surgical interventions for debulking some of these tumors, also chemotherapy, and different other smaller aspects like cryotherapy. And phase 2, we'll have radiotherapy so that our patients don't suffer. We also have within this center, we have a nutritional support. We'll also have a blood transfusion services, and we also have counseling and palliative care for patients who have advanced stage cancers.
Well, Daktari, we've seen Kenyans raising concerns on diagnosis of cancers in the country. We've had them say that most cases that are being captured in the country are as a result of misdiagnosis. So in this facility, do you have an adequate team that will really assure residents that whatever results they will be getting here will be the correct results?
Thank you. That's a good observation, because there have been cases or allegations of misdiagnosis, but sometimes misdiagnosis arises from different reasons. Maybe when patients go to the wrong people. That's why we have a cancer center where our patients actually can be coming to be seen. I need to mention, though in passing, that I'll be leading from the front. I have recently gotten my PhD in oncopathology. I'm the first person in Kenya to get a PhD in cancer diagnostics, so we are going to do the right thing for our patients to benefit.
Thank you very much. Shiksha, just like you've had it, remember, cancer is still a burden in the country. Remember, it's still one of the leading causes of mobility and mortality in the country. So remember, statistics also by Globacon indicate that here in the country, we have like 97,000 people diagnosed with cancer annually in the country. And of these 97,000, Shiksha, remember, 32,000 of these 97 die annually cause of cancer, with cancers like breast cancer, cervical cancer, prostate cancer, being ranked among the leading type of cancers in the country. So with such interventions, really, Shiksha, it will come as a reprieve to residents who will now get to know of their status before they are diagnosed at a later stage. Remember, also the national government had said that it will allocate more funds for cancer treatment and management in the country, where we saw President Uhuru Kenyatta saying that they will add more chemotherapy centers in the country, with one that is set to be launched next month, rather, in Bomet County at Longisa Hospital in honor of former Bomet Governor Joyce Laboso, who died of cancer. So we will be keen on this matter, because we've also seen other counties replicating such initiatives in their county. Also in Nairobi County, remember, the other month we saw the governor also just launching a free screening exercise. So it is an issue that county governments have taken up with they've given a keen interest on this cancer issue by coming up with such initiatives. So we hope that through such initiatives, we will be able to reduce the cancer burden in the country. Back to you in studio, Shiksha.
All right, thank you very much, Gloria Milimu, for that update. Of course, cancer is the third leading cause of death here in Kenya, and this facility has been funded using 40 million shillings from well-wishers as well as the county government. Now, moving on to other stories, where all members of the National Council of Churches of Kenya are meeting in Limuru, to try and resolve leadership wrangles within the council. This transition crisis at NCCK has deepened after the chairman accused the General Secretary of trying to divide the church. Now, Archbishop Timothy Ndambuki wrote to Reverend Canon Peter Karanja ahead of the extraordinary committee meeting, opposing the introduction of other agenda outside the pending dispute on the circumstances under which Karanja's successor, Chris Kinyanjui Kamau, was recruited 2 months ago. For a more comprehensive update, we're going to be joined by our reporter, that is Caleb Rotemo. Of course, he's going to be giving us details regarding this particular meeting that was set to happen, and he'll be telling us if indeed it has happened as of now or not. Good afternoon, Caleb. What's the latest from your end?
Actually, Shiksha, it's an out-of-bounds affair, because as you can see, we have been told, the media people, that we should be outside the gate, so that we don't get to really understand what is happening within the precincts. But the question has been that the National Council of Churches of Kenya is meeting right now. Of course, they have been here since 10 a.m. to sort out issues surrounding the controversial recruitment of one Chris Kinyanjui as the National General Secretary of the National Council of Churches of Kenya. It is an issue that has elicited reactions, considering that the members are not comfortable because they feel that the process was flawed. It went against the council's constitution, and so therefore they feel that they have to sit down and try to see into it that what led into the appointment and who is behind that. That's why we have General Secretary Canon Peter Karanja being grilled by other council members. Of course, it's led by the chairman, Timothy Ndambuki, who is the Archbishop for the Africa Brotherhood Church, trying to see the circumstances under which Kinyanjui was appointed, and why is it that he has any other information concerning the properties that are being owned by the church in the different parts of the country, ranging from here in Limuru. There's 7 acres in Buruburu, that's a prime land, and there's also some areas like Western and every other area, because they feel like the General Secretary has been misusing the income from the properties, so that he benefits for himself. And so therefore that's why they feel that could be one of the reasons why he put one who will be there under his command. Remember, among the proposals that the General Secretary has proposed is that, number one, we have the General Secretary who will be in office, of course, even after the term expires, if the designate General Secretary is not unable to perform the functions. And also there is that aspect of the Deputy General Secretary should not vie for any other position until he or she informs through resignation 2.5 years before the term of the General Secretary ends. That is one of the, those are some of the recommendations, the proposals that General Secretary Karanja has put. And of course, that aspect of ensuring that the executive is, the council, I mean, is being guided by members from 4 critical churches. That's the AIC, there's also the ACK, Presbyterian Church of East Africa, and the Kenya Methodist Church, that they should be there to have veto powers to guide the whole processes in the organization. So we shall be waiting to see what happens, because once they conclude, they'll have to come and either brief us or they just leave altogether, depending on the resolutions that they arrive at in there. So from here in Limuru, I'm Caleb Ratemo, back to you in studio.
Thank you very much, Caleb Rotemo, for that update from Limuru, of course, where the National Council of Churches of Kenya are going to be attempting to resolve their differences today in a closed-door meeting. So we'll be getting more details on that particular story. But for now, moving on, leaders from Kiharu, Kangema and Mathioya constituencies are divided on a proposal to hive off 2 wards from Kiharu constituency and add them to Mathioya and Kangema constituencies, which risk abolishment for failing to meet the population quota. Now, Kiharu constituencies have opposed the proposal, while their Kangema and Mathioya counterparts argue IEBC is only allowed by law to redraw constituency boundaries and not scrap them. According to the Interim Independent Boundaries Review Commission chaired by Andrew Ligale, which identified the present 210 constituencies in the 2010 Constitution.
The IBC is only permitted, and I stress this, it's only permitted by 7 and 8 only to change the name of a constituency, not to create a constituency, to change the name and the boundaries.
Mimi unanipea 100 million ya CDF. Then you give Mathioya 100 million and Kagema. That is 200 million. Na wakiwa wamesikanishwa, wamejumuishwa pamoja, wako wachache, wako adhi yao ni dogo, na jia zote kama wamesikanishwa wako chini ya Kiharu.
Now, in other news making headlines today, Interior CS Fred Matiang'i, accompanied by Principal Secretary Karanja Kibichu, Inspector General of Police Hilary Mutiambai, as well as Director of Criminal Investigations George Kinoti and Director of Public Prosecutions Nurdin Haji, this morning unveiled a state-of-the-art 3500 XL genetic analyzer at the government's Chemist Department headquarters next to the Kenyatta National Hospital. So for now, we'll be taking you directly to where this unveiling ceremony is happening, and of course here we go. That is CS Dr. Fred Matiang'i addressing the congregation and his briefing. Let's listen in.
We have been following the instructions we were given by the President to reform it, ensure that it's properly funded and grow its capacity to support investigations in the country. So I'm grateful that this is the first step towards the achievement of the objectives as outlined by His Excellency the President. And I promise, I have had a good meeting with the staff and my colleagues here, and I promise that the government chemist is going to be 2 or 3 times bigger and better than it is today, because we are going to focus all our energy in supporting them and growing their capacity as we go forward. But let me thank them. And government chemists, I thank you and your colleagues for the wonderful work that you do. And the 1 hour or so we have spent in there has been an eye-opener to the commitment that you have, the amount of time you put in ensuring that we resolve some of the challenges that we have in our society. So going forward, in addition to the equipment that we are launching today, the government intends to put more resources in acquiring more equipment to support this. We have 2 other branches of the government chemist in Mombasa and in Kisumu. We intend to equip them even more so that they can have capacity to deal with some cases out there in the coast without depending heavily on samples being brought to Nairobi. And the Kisumu one also, we intend to fund it and support it so that it can deal with cases in the western part of our country. Then the budget allowing, or the resources that we have allowing, we will look at locating a new branch of the government chemist to deal with the northern part of our country. So this expansion is intended to make our investigation work easier and faster, and to resolve some of the issues that we are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. I urge the government chemist and all my colleagues here that now we improve our institutional relationship with the Crime Research Center and the DCI so that we achieve our national objectives of strengthening the criminal justice system. There's a lot of work we need to do with our colleagues in the judiciary also, so that sometimes the processing of the cases where our scientists are required to give evidence is done in a faster way, because if you keep 6 or 7 of our scientists in court to attend to cases that do not sometimes even happen, we lose so much of our time that we should be spending in the lab here trying to find out solutions. But at the right time, we will have conversations with our colleagues in the judiciary on this matter and hope that we will address this particular aspect, because sometimes we spend a lot of resources moving our scientists around to magistrate courts to give evidence, then the cases do not take place. And we do that so many times. One morning we'll be having 6 or so of our scientists in courts waiting the whole day. And cases.
All right, of course, that is Interior CS Dr. Fred Matiang'i addressing regarding the state-of-the-art machine that has been unveiled. Now remember, this machine is set to bring perpetrators of defilement as well as rape to justice by increasing efficiency when it comes to forensics, and that is definitely some good news. All right, that's how we'll wrap up this edition of K24 Newscut. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon. My name is Shiksha Arora, joined by our sign language interpreter this afternoon, Walter Sewe. We'll do it again tomorrow. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic afternoon ahead. I beg your pardon. And don't go anywhere. Coming up next, we have Tony Kwalanda.